Okay. So Alan, if you gotta go, let's just do you first, and then you can leave any time.
Okay.
We
Yeah.
be over here. The only other thing I need to do is get my little circle for my cursor. There it is. All right. Okay.
Yeah. So I was out. There's a beautiful garden here. It's called Reader Rock Garden. And they've got some really, really nice flowers. Anyway, I was out there taking photos of the flowers and this bee flew in. So he just happened to be there. So yeah.
Nice. Looks like he's got his share of pollen going there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I caught him in flight and everything else, but yeah, my main reason for going there was for the flowers.
Mhm. I can't remember. Do you have Topaz AI?
Yes, I do. Yeah,
Okay. I was wondering, maybe give it a try in this area,
sharpen it up a bit.
up a little bit. Yeah, I guess we could see if
It's
that, how
pretty
that,
shallow depth of field. So there's a
yeah.
good point
Is
in good
that
point
your,
in macro.
and
Like,
your macro, yeah, yeah, they get extremely shallow depth of field. Oh, come on, there we go, okay. Oh, I don't want to upscale, let's just. Use sharpen. Yeah, probably wants to upscale since it's a small JPEG. Oh, yeah,
oh yeah, yeah, definitely did.
yeah, yeah, I'll take care of it. Okay, good. All right, let's move on here.
And I just threw this in just for something interesting and something different. Now I bet your mind already thinks this is a turbine, but it's not.
Or a staircase.
It's the blinds in our front window.
Oh,
And we've got it's a lamp. So this is a light bulb, a spherical light bulb. And that's just the reflections on it from the,
okay.
I
Well,
thought it was kind of interesting. So
yeah, that's fun. I like the way it bends it.
yeah. But yeah, I don't know, I think your mind is, it took this a while ago. And when I went over it again, I thought, oh yeah, that looks like a turbine. People think that's a turbofan from a jet engine. So
I'm just curious how that might look. It's almost like an auditorium this way.
oh yeah.
Yeah, because with all those striations, it almost looks like a bunch of seats. There's Dave. Hello. Hey, in person. All right.
Very good.
Excellent. All right. So that might be a thought.
Yeah.
Okay.
Looks like Alan's in Calgary.
Yeah, it's nice and cool up here.
Beautiful.
No air conditioning yet. And this was just from the other day there. Again, we were back down at that Reader Rock Garden. But I was trying to just take shots of the after effect after the flower has gone. So
Mhm.
I find these just as much, if not more interesting than the actual flowers. So
Yeah, definitely.
just love all of it.
Guessing you might have a little more detail in here if you pulled your highlights down and then compensate a little with white.
Okay.
Yeah, and then what do you guys think of this up here? Yeah, I'd get rid of it too.
Get rid of it. Okay.
Yeah, yeah, this not so much, but yeah, at least this guy. I don't know if you want to leave the loops to kind of offset this, but yeah, this long skinny guy I'd probably get rid of.
Okay.
Alrighty. Oh, that's your before, yeah.
That's this is a real one. But when I saw that, I just had to put a snake's head in.
Yeah, well, it's almost looking like one here already.
I just love the detail that you get on this lens. Now this is about 15 images, photo stack,
Okay,
focus stack, sorry.
okay. Is that handheld or tripod?
What's on a tripod, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
And then, an AI, I just went in there, circled that out and said, stick a snake's head in there and hey presto.
Presto.
I like that.
Yeah,
Scary.
Well, it kind of fits, with the curve of with the stem.
mm-hmm.
Mm.
A lot of fun.
And it's just one of the other flowers. Just
Mhm.
again, this is probably about 10 images focus stacked.
Mhm.
Because you got a very short depth of field on that 2.8 lens.
Yeah. You may want to play around with darkening and lightening these 3 areas just to get this to separate a little more.
Okay.
Yeah, I like it though.
Mm.
Green and purple are nice.
I love that it is blurred and then super focus
Yeah.
places.
Well, I think it's actually in focus. The problem is you've got, well, this is blurred out here, but yeah, it is blurred down here too. But I think what's happening is the tonality is so close that you kind of lose the shape.
And yeah, it kind of drifts in and out of it.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be anything drastic, but just enough to get a little more separation.
Okay.
Yeah, maybe down something in this tone up here.
All right.
Yeah. Okay.
Good.
Was that's all yours, huh?
That's it. Yeah.
Okay, good. Well, thanks. Well, Dave, you're here. Let's go.
And there it is, folks. I mentioned last time I'm going up to the famous Calaveras County Fair Frog Jumping Jubilee. And here is a frog jockey. And what I want to say is it was very challenging photographically. The stage was huge. It was very bright. And so I had to zoom in. And the moment the frog jumped off the pad, it was out of the picture. You know, so what I did to express this event is I took an art piece that was on the side of a building, photographed that, removed the background, and put it into this frog frog jockey's picture, to express the event.
Mhm.
And I shot her in sepia and put the frog in color.
Let me see if I can move this thing up a little bit. There, let's see if that helps. Not really. Yeah, a little bit.
The contest was loads of fun. There were so many people there, thousands of people. And one lady almost beat the record of 21 feet, 5.5 inches.
Wow.
Her frog jumped 20 feet.
Wow.
So she was 1 foot away from the $20,000
Ooh,
prize.
wow.
Wow.
Yeah,
That's
I
amazing.
took a lot of pictures. I have to look at them. I haven't had much time to process. I just wanted to get one representative picture of where I was.
Mhm. Oops, yeah, she's kind of interesting. Let's see here. There we go.
Okay, this is the National Hotel in Jamestown. It's a Gold Rush era hotel. And I've embellished it a bit by putting in additional architectural elements, cuts and crops. And then I rendered it all together.
Yeah, it flows pretty seamlessly.
Yeah,
Yeah.
plus when you render it, Sandy, in the graphic novel, which is the program I'm using, it kind of evens out. You can't notice the jaggles and
Mhm.
the misconnections as much.
Yeah. The only giveaway I see is like right here,
Yeah,
you know, and this, missing this additional one because they're too close together there. But,
it's several cuts and,
yeah, nice.
you know, I had it created in a different program and it was over pixelated. It was colorful, but it was over pixelated. And I didn't want that, so I worked on it again, adding more cropping, cutting,
Mhm.
and came up with this final piece.
Yeah. Well, I like the asymmetry here.
Yeah.
That's working out. Good.
So in Columbia City, you know, it was festival time and they were all dressed up with a 1850s mining camp reenactment going on.
Whoops. Whoa, that just bombed me right out, didn't it?
We're out.
Get back. There we go. Collapse that corner. Sorry.
And in the town, it's another gold rush town. They were having a Cinco de Mayo exhibit. And there was a guitarista performing outside the building, and I combined him with something very beautiful and colorful that was inside the exhibit with the Mexican blanket
Mhm.
and the flowers. And I just put it together for, I thought it was an interesting picture.
I'm just wondering if you flipped the two, if the composition might be a little better. I don't know.
Sandy, we tried it.
Yeah,
Me and my wife, you know, she helps me with
Right,
all these
right.
things, and it didn't quite produce any impact. Here, what you have is the guitarist produce, you know, slides over into the flower.
yeah, yeah.
And I had the blanket scene much larger and it was just too long, so I cropped and cropped.
Yeah, that makes sense.
But yes, Sandy, I always try back and forth, right and left to see
Good,
what
good.
works better.
Yeah, I guess.
Well, Sorry, I was just going to say, I know that's your style, Dave, putting two images together, but I think your guitar guy would stand alone really well, just, you know, without the flowers on the right. I think the guitar guy looks pretty amazing.
Thank you.
Well, that's
And
an
Alan,
object-
that is a good point. Sometimes it doesn't need 2 or 3 panels, but this is just something that I
Mhm.
saw that you know, I see this in my mind's eye and then I want to create it.
Yeah,
But yes, well taken, Alan.
yeah. I was just responding to this abruptness here. Of where this
Yes.
ends, and I'm thinking maybe if it was on the left side and it flowed this way into him, it just might
Maybe,
be,
Sandy,
might be
yeah.
a little less obtrusive.
Yeah.
It is abrupt.
All right,
The
let's,
diagonal picks up.
we don't have a lot of people here today, so we can
Oh, you
play.
do? Okay.
No, we don't.
Oh, you do not?
We do not, so let's play. Yeah, so just quickly,
I was gonna say, Sandy, the diagonal of the blanket picks up with the crutch.
yeah,
Yeah, let's see.
yeah, so let's just copy paste. Oh, come back here. Unlock that. All right, so I'm just gonna move this over to here. Okay, and turn this on. Move that over here. Well, yeah. So it might be a little short. I may have
That's
undercut it,
interesting,
but yeah, I think, and I don't know if you got more top and bottom to play with, but you might wanna, reposition him somehow.
yeah. A little farther.
Yeah, something like that, so that you've got this line kind of playing with this and this kind of coming around like that. Just a thought.
Yeah.
Oh boy, another new version update.
Every other day.
Yeah, they're coming fast and furious lately. So, all righty. Well, you know what, let's have a look at this again since we played with it. You know, it could go either way.
Oh, no.
Yeah, yeah.
It's
I guess I'm
easier to
getting-
Experiment your
yeah,
compositions.
I'm just getting used to that abruptness now.
How about, Sandy, just take the flower pot out completely so Alan can see what he thought of.
Yeah. There you go.
Yeah, I think,
Is that a standalone image?
oh, I think so.
Oh, yeah, yeah. without-
Oh, yeah, that's, I like that.
Mhm.
Okay, cool.
So that's another option.
He is very colorful and
Mhm.
it's nice.
Yeah.
Very,
you gotta-
very kind of cartoonish type effect there. Like it's yeah.
Okay. There, you had some more, didn't you?
Yeah.
Okay. Let's see let's just take a quick peek and see where we were. Just these last two, right? Yeah, okay.
I like that one, Dave.
Columbia City had an 1850s mining camp set up and there was a lot going on. And this image attracted my eye when I was going through my backstock. What am I going to create? I liked the color, the orange, yellow-orange color.
Mhm.
And what I did here is I created an inside-out picture. The banjo player is on the outside, it's an exterior shot. And the other two are on an interior. So I've presented both inside and outside at the same time. It's a little bit mysterious because you can't really see what's happening. The woman on the left is struggling to get in through the door to find out what's going on in here. And the man on the right is just calmly observing. And Sandy, I know you're gonna pick out the hand, right?
Well, yeah, yeah,
Okay, so there's holes in the roof and the light,
yeah,
the bright light shining through.
yeah. Well, you've got, you know, these hot spots coming along, so they kind of pull you through.
Sandy, I haven't quite learned what you've been telling me how to brush it over.
Mhm.
But I know that's there, that really bright hand.
Yeah. Yeah, you could probably bring down the highlights on all these quite easily, but
Pretty
you
much.
gotta get into another program to do that.
Yeah, I haven't learned yet how
Yeah,
to do it,
yeah.
but pretty much I put this together because of the color.
Mhm.
It's a color picture. And I think these strange forms and shapes might be stills. It might be a still. Because it looks like there's a bottle there and maybe a still.
Mhm.
They might be creating whiskey. But basically, I've combined interior and exterior views. There's lots of diagonals, lots of verticals, and less horizontal, but more vertical elements.
Mhm. I like the way the lines work. You know, you've got these lines leading in on this diagonal.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of fun. Oh, let me get back on this. There we go.
Okay, I think this might be my favorite shot in the group.
Mhm.
A beautiful girl in a bonnet, reenacting 1850s life. And just got this shot. And it looks like she was looking right at me, so it's a nice face. A lot of people don't like to be photographed, even if they're in costume, but here it worked. And then I added some color on the outsides. There was a window, a very old window that was wobbly leaded glass.
Mhm.
So the greenery in the background and the picket fence was already distorted even before I ran it through a program. And I like how it got a little bit of the Monet water lily brush stroke effect in outer panels. And I think it works with the girl. And the carved wood kind of picks up with her hair and just the overall design, the graphic novel filter helped out a lot. Kind of looks 3D.
Hmm.
I was going to say kind of similar to the other shot. I know what you're trying to do here, Dave, and I kind of like it. But when I look at that image, that bottom right-hand corner of that window with a little picket fence, I think that's an image on its own right there. Just that little square at the bottom.
Over here, yeah.
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 I think that would look awesome just on its own.
Ellen, I've got the whole window. I've obviously cut it apart.
Yeah.
And it was much larger, and credit to my wife who helps me create these on the computer. She moved the windows in more and more and more, so it wasn't as substantial. But
Yeah.
you're probably right, Ellen. In its own right, the window image was very interesting because the
Sure.
glass is wobbly.
Yeah.
It's a very old window.
Yeah, I love that old glass. Kind of like the interplay of these two textures too, the back of the chair and her dress. And the lace too. You know, it works really nice. Okay, was that your last one? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, great. Well, thanks.
Thank you.
All right, let's see, Don.
Okay, this is just off of Bryant Park in New York City. I don't know what the name of the hotel. It's a hotel and restaurant there. I did all this in Lightroom, basically. I did a lot of masking, the different flowers, and used radio filters and stuff to bring the tones and stuff around. And I got rid of some people that were in the foreground. But it was mostly all done in masking. It was kind of a blah picture otherwise. Try to bring some of the tones back.
Amazing amount of foliage for an urban setting.
Yeah.
Nice.
So, Don, there were people in the foreground that you took out?
Yeah, there was people standing in the floor. I did have to take it into Photoshop to take those out. But all the colorization stuff, that was all done in Lightroom.
Mhm.
I didn't know whether that bush in the bottom right-hand corner, I was going to take that out, and I took it out, and then I thought maybe it was balanced better with it in there, but I don't know what, I'm not sure what I think of it at this point.
I think it's good. Yeah.
Gives the
Yeah.
depth.
Yeah, maybe just knock this light area down a hair,
Okay.
yeah. Or shift it to green or something, yeah. So I just keep going over here. The only other thing, maybe you could darken this foreground with a
I did darken that down because that was really, really light.
yeah, maybe
I
just
should have went some more than you think.
mention, yeah. Yeah,
Okay.
other than that, I think you're good.
You know,
Okay, thank you.
surprised when he said New York City.
I know.
I thought Carmel when I first saw
Yeah.
this until the highlights.
Just all these high rises, yeah, yeah,
Because it's so luscious, the foliage, you know.
yeah, definitely.
This is Grand Central Station, the ticket booth there in the center of the Grand Central Station.
Yeah,
Just worked with the tones and the brick and stuff a little bit to get them to be a little more matched than what they were. And there was people on the right-hand side of the doorway down there. I took them out and just darkened and lightened a little bit. Brought out the texture in the marble on the ticket booth.
You know, it almost reminds you of those movies you see where they do the time lapse and you get the blurred people going back and forth.
Yeah.
That's all. I'm wondering if maybe I ought to try some blurs on some of these people that are.
Well, I had some of them that were blurred. I
Yeah,
took them out.
yeah, maybe make them more blurred. You know,
Yeah.
like maybe these two, like they're really moving. Yeah, it could be fun. Just a
I'll
thought.
have to remember that.
Yeah, just a thought. Might be nice in black and white too.
Yeah, I thought about that.
I'm just keeping on seeing, I'd like to see a little stars where the lights are, you know, little
Yeah,
star,
yeah.
or where maybe darken it down just to.
Okay.
Well, Apple's got their prominence there. Yeah, they weren't there. Well, I haven't been to Grand Central probably in 20 years.
Nice shot done. I like
I
that.
probably should have took them out.
Yeah. Charge them.
Yeah.
Product placement.
Yeah, Chuck.
Product placement.
Okay, this shot here is the actual, my photo. It's shot on the High Line. It's the old rail bed and that runs through Kelsey, I think it is. But I put it in generative AI and typed in watercolor. And this is what it sent back.
Very nice.
All the color wasn't the way I liked it, so then I used Camera Raw and used the filters and brought out the colors in the buildings and stuff more. I had to, the wall and the floor on the left was really bright, so I had to darken that down. Windows on the right-hand side were pretty blah, so I upped the contrast and the color on that, brought that out. The bulb in the center, that pot, was actually like an Aladdin's lamp, but it took the back half of that off and put those flowers in that wasn't there. So that was the difference. But otherwise, that was a watercolor from generative AI in Photoshop.
I like it.
Yeah,
It's a nice piece.
yeah.
Thank you.
You showed this photograph, I think, a couple weeks ago, right?
Yeah, without the
Without
watercolor.
the AI, yeah, the actual
Yeah.
photo. Yeah, I think I like this a little better.
Yeah, this one really struck me. I tried some oil and stuff, but I didn't like it. This year, I don't know why it done it the way it did, but I kind of like this one.
Yeah, that's fun.
This is a flower shot in the backyard. That's a photo stack of, I think, 10 photos.
Mhm.
It was a quiet night, but it wasn't quite quiet enough because I got some blur in it, but
Nice. Kind of an interesting little critter here.
yeah, that. I didn't notice it till I got it in. Paid much attention to it till I got it on the computer. Oh, that's more than I thought it was.
Yeah, yeah, pleasant surprises. Huh?
'Cause I was going to take it out when I took the picture, and I'll just take it out when I get it in there, and turned out to be pretty good, I thought.
Yeah, yeah, I like them.
What's going on up at the top there? Looks,
I don't know what that is. I noticed it on the other picture too.
What are you referring to?
What are you referring to?
I'm
There-
getting a block.
Yeah,
Yeah,
right.
there you go.
This?
It's
Oh,
going
you-
now.
just cleaned it out, yeah.
Yeah, it's the bar from Zoom, and I don't know if it's
Okay.
dropping a shadow or what it's doing.
Oh, okay.
I wish I could get rid of it. Okay. Is it back now?
No, well, the
No,
bar,
the bar, you got the bar down there now.
Yeah, all right.
there we go.
Now there's just a little bit of a line there is all.
Okay, it's probably some kind of transmission anomaly or
Yeah.
something, Zoom. But yeah, here we've got like this green and red banner that's a real pain in the butt, so unfortunately it's there.
Good.
Let's look at another one here. I'm gonna make
Yeah.
them a little smaller, then maybe that'll, yeah,
There you go.
that'll get away from it.
And this one here is just another flower. This is a single shot that I put in Luminar then and did some structure and texture, super contrast on it. And
Mhm.
color harmony and stuff, and kind of bring the greens and stuff out that were showing in it.
Nice.
Yeah, nice one.
Thank you.
background.
Yeah, so you just underexposed the background or did you put a black?
Yeah, I picked the flower and then turned the background black.
Oh, okay, so you masked it down.
Yeah, I just selected the flower
Gotcha. Okay,
and inverted it and turned it black.
yeah, nice. Yeah, that works out nicely. I think that's might be it, right?
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, okay, well, thanks.
Thank you.
Wait, Sam. Does Don,
Which one, this one?
yeah, does he beam a little light into the center of the flower? There's a nice glow.
I think a lot of that was done in post-processing, right?
Yeah, yeah.
You mean like he brushed it?
He might have
No,
masked,
I probably used a radio filter on it and lightened it.
yeah. So with the radio filter, it kind of radiates out, so it's strongest in the center. Or you can invert it and have it strongest everywhere else but the center, like if you wanted to make a vignette, but more like almost the whole photo rather than just, the edges, you could do it with that radio if you inverted it. But the way he's using it, he's brightening up the center.
It's warm and glowing.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
Yeah,
Okay.
well, in Neo, you've got tools where you can mess around with the color a bit, as well as other programs, but he's brought up the richness and the saturation. As well as, let me just open that one again. Yeah. You also can affect the textures and bring them out. You see the way that you're getting all these little things going on here.
Mhm.
Yeah. I can give you a demonstration of that probably, since we don't have that many people here today. Yeah, I can go into Neo at the end.
As simple as the image appears, there's a lot of post-production going on.
Correct.
Yes, okay. Ooh.
That's nice.
Yeah,
My mother-in-law was out for a walk and she had found this feather and I said, okay, I'm gonna do something with it.
Mhm.
And there's another shot. I think this is my favorite of the two because I like the little reflections and stuff on.
Yeah, it's nice.
In the background.
So you made a little still life.
Mhm.
Nice.
yeah, I like it.
Yeah.
Nice.
Nice and simple. I like that. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I like the simplicity of it.
Mm-hmm. Wondering about crop. It's just,
Yeah, that is definitely a plus. Right, and
So is that a little water reflection down at the bottom left?
no, it's not water, it's the actual, I didn't use any water or anything like that.
it was the surface you added them on.
Oh, okay,
Brought out the texture. And
Mhm.
nice,
Yeah,
very nice.
yeah.
It's nice.
This one I don't like as well, but the feather didn't, it's got too much yellow. in it. Need to go back and play with that one.
Or tip it one way or the other.
Yeah,
Since the vase is going this way, maybe tip it a little more the other way, yeah.
so I do.
And maybe even pull it up just a little bit more, so it narrows down a bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, we can try that, see how that works out.
This one, my mother-in-law has bird feeding stuff all over the place, but I saw this bird hanging up, there's food inside that bag and
Mhm.
this finch was just hanging
So they gotta really work for it.
there. Yeah. Yeah. Mhm.
Okay. You like keeping it pastel like this, or do you think it could be richer?
It probably could be richer.
Yeah, I think so.
And then Paula, did you dull the background a little bit?
I did, I put little stylized, oil.
Yeah, it looks like, yeah, got that texture going. Yeah, there it is.
Let's see.
Yeah, see. Yeah. Let's just take this one. This is a good example where we can go into Neo. Hang on a second here. I gotta move Ellen out of the way so I can see my programs. There we go. Alrighty, so if we go into, there's presets you can use, like most programs. Mainly like the ones you use online, Dave, where, you can just go in there and let them load. You can just kind of go over them and take a look and see what they do, just on their own. So maybe we like this one here. When you click on it, you can slide it to decide how much of it you want. So maybe somewhere in here might be good. And then if you go into the edit menu, you've got additional tools to work with, but if you want to see how this preset was created, you can go over into the edits that they used. So basically, and then you got this little eyeball on each one of these, so you can see what they do. So this mood is affecting the color and saturation. Super contrast, let's see what that's doing. Actually, I would probably, let's bring in shadows way up, which I don't think we want. I think we want to take the highlights down. So they're not always perfect. So that's why they give you the ability to go in there and play with them. So there's your highlight balance right there, maybe something like that. And let's see what the midtones. Yeah, maybe we bring the midtones down a bit and work them that way. And then if you click here, you can see the before and after, give you an idea what's going on. And then you can close it up and go down to the next one, just details. And in this case, that's where you sharpen this up. So let's start at the bottom here. The structure I really like. I usually use that first because I think it gives a nice feel to the overall image. And then from there, I usually go to enhance. You can start to develop if it needs some things. The nicest thing in develop is the smart contrast, because it doesn't blow things out everywhere. It works pretty selectively. So I think just that, and the rest of it's just like development tools where you can bring your highlights down, like that hand that's too hot in your image and that sort of thing. Those are all in that particular develop module. But structure is really nice. You can just snap things, and all these have masks, so you can do it just selectively. And then enhance is always nice too. So basically it kind of plays with saturation and contrast at the same time. So if we wanted to just discard this and start over again, if I was just doing this from scratch and we go in the edit module, again, I would probably start with develop. I'd get my super contrast where I want it. Maybe somewhere in there, I think might be nice. I probably would take care of the highlights here a little bit. And maybe I'd pull the highlights way down, get more detail. And then when you go into the black and whites, you'd compensate the fact that it's a little dull by adding a little more white to it. Now, this is working overall on everything. So if you just wanted it in the bag and the bird, you go into masking, get yourself a brush and just paint in where you want it. Uh, keep hitting that darn corner. I'm sorry. I'm gonna have to turn that thing off. The corner where it puts everything to sleep, but I guess it logs you out too. So that's not so, yeah. So now you can see it's just affecting that area. So if you go back to the adjustments now that you have it masked out, you might want to get a little more aggressive with it since it's not affecting the background. Okay. And the other nice thing about the masking is you can go down to actions here and copy that mask. And you can have more than one of these tools. If you close it and reopen it again, you've got a new one. So now I could take this and I could go into the mask and paste the mask and then invert it. Okay, and now I'm just working on the background. I don't have to make a new mask or anything else. So maybe I want to darken the background down a little bit. Play around with it. Like that. So when we're done with that, so if you go over to edits, it'll show you what you've done so far. So if you go in there, you see there's 2 develop modules in there, 2 develop tools, because we closed it and reopened it. Now, the next thing I would probably do is go into structure, and that's where I would beef it up. Now, I might not want this on the background, right? So again, I could just go back into masking, go down to mask actions and paste, and it's just on the bird. Yeah. So now you can see it's just affecting the bird. Maybe now that I'm looking at it, maybe I take it down a bit. There we go. Okay. And then probably the next thing might be enhance. Maybe just a little of that. And then from there, you've got lots of other tools here. You can replace the sky, you can add sun rays. They've got all these other enhancers if you've actually got an image with the sky in it. And water, they've got all these enhancing tools. Landscape, the only thing I usually use is golden hour, which kind of warms it up. Kind of like you're shooting late afternoon. So that's kind of nice. And if you don't like it, there's a back arrow here. You just hit that and you're back. Okay. And then you got all these other tools. Relight's kind of fun because you can take things that are near and far. And then with this depth, you can change where it meets. Or maybe I just want it in the background and I don't want it on the bird. I can go into masking, get a brush, and this time instead of painting, I'm erasing. And I'm just going to take it off what I don't want. Like that. Whoop. Turn the thing off for sure. And then if you want to see what everything's doing, there's a eyeball down here. So that's where we've come to at this point. There's just the tool itself, if you want to see what that's doing. And then you've got all these other tools that add, film grain, blur, glows, and so on. If you're working with people, there's a lot of things to clean people up with. The super contrast is kind of nice if you got hot spots like that hand you had. You can come in here and just take the highlight down. And then you've got a way to balance it. If you go to the right, it's gonna bring it way back. If you go to the left, it's gonna take it way down. So you kind of get it somewhere like that. And again, you can just paint that into the areas you want to affect and not do everything if you want, rather than globally. So that's basically how it works.
No, so that was a good one.
Yeah. So it's a great, I kind of use it like the icing on the cake. I'll start in Lightroom, I'll get everything exactly where I want it. And then I'll go into Photoshop if there's things I want to clone out, although now there's the new remove tool, it's AI. So sometimes I don't even need to do that. And then I take it into Neo just to give it that little extra edge, which really does a nice job. Okay.
This one, I just caught this flicker flying around here and just got lucky when poked his head inside.
Yeah.
I got a lot of the dead flowers that were on the top. And just.
Yeah, that's nice.
Good shot.
Mhm. I was thinking maybe we're taking the left side off just to bring more, yeah.
Yeah,
but
That's what I was thinking as
I
well.
really like what's going on over here. Yeah, yeah, you could probably come to maybe here, Let's just take a peek at it.
Maybe even move it up a bit.
Yeah, yeah. Mhm. So that's an option too. Okay, I think that, oh, you got one more here. There we go.
There's a tree on that side that has those limbs that look like they're raised with a tail on them.
Mhm.
I saw it, I gotta do something with it.
Yeah,
And I was looking, trying to do all kinds of stuff, and I said, no. So I just went into AI and I put the eyes in. I put a knot for sort of a nose-mouth combination, and then just asked for a desert landscape. And after going through a ton of them, I selected on them.
a lot of fun.
Good.
So Paula, did you put in all the little plants?
No, that's part of the desert landscape
That's there.
that's part of the AI that came in.
Oh.
Yeah.
The only thing that's real from the photo that I took is just the tree. AI enhanced the way it looked, but,
It's pretty fun.
but that's the tree that I took.
Oh, wow.
So have you guys noticed there's more and more of this AI creeping in here?
Yeah,
So that's a lot of additional.
yeah, it's a new,
Background foreground is all. And obviously the hair on the tree.
Very cool. I
Yeah.
like it.
it's a new tool, and I'm sure we're gonna see a lot of garish stuff and a lot of really nice stuff. As people start using it. So we'll see how it goes, but so far I like what you guys have been doing with it. It's a lot of fun. Okay, thanks. Yep, I guess we're down to me. Let's see here. I was over at the pool trying to keep cool like everybody else. And this kid had more energy than any 10. He just kept running up and down the ramp and playing with his brother. And so I decided, I had my iPhone. I said, well, I got to shoot this guy. So I put it in live mode, which was nice because you could catch everything as it was going. And I saw he kept losing his shoe, but I didn't realize how cool the shoe was.
That's pretty awesome, yeah.
Yeah, so I kind of caught it out of the corner of my eye spinning behind him, but yeah.
What mode is this? live mode.
live mode in the iPhone, yeah.
So it was like a movie then? You just took
Yeah,
a
it takes like a burst of frames.
Oh, gotcha.
Oh, okay,
And then
okay.
you can scroll through them to see which is the best one you like. It's also good for shooting portraits when you have a lot of people, because if somebody blinks, you can kind of go through till you find one where they all look good and they're not blinking. So that's helpful too.
A lot of action.
Yeah.
And the color is great.
Yeah, that pool is really great. That's the one at Canoa Hills.
Yeah, I recognize it.
Yeah, yeah.
And it freezes every drop of water.
It was so bright, it had a nice quick shutter on it. Yeah,
Spinning shoe.
yeah, I'm still amazed what you can get from a phone camera.
Oh, yeah.
Just, and it was so bright out, I really couldn't see. I was just kind of like, that's the only downside. You can't sometimes see the screen as well as you'd like. And then after seeing that, I thought, this texture, this is kind of like a self-portrait I did. There was this huge piece of granite inside of a display case when we were in Italy on one of the art islands. And so I just kind of did a little self-portrait of myself through that. So I thought I'd include
Wait a
that
minute.
with,
Was there a piece of glass?
yeah.
Over the granite?
Well, there was glass and then the granite was further back and the granite was spherical.
Oh.
That's what the
that's what the
distortions
distortion.
creating it,
Like
Yeah.
the blizzard.
Yeah, and I just kind of zoomed into the highlight area.
Yeah, very cool.
Yeah, it was kind of fun.
And did you render it in any way?
And just, kicked up the colors a bit. It was kind of flat, and sharpened up the granite a little bit to get the flex a little more prominent. And this kid I saw in Seattle, just loved it. I don't know if you guys, there's a movie on Apple called Argyle. And the woman that's the lead in there actually has this backpack with a cat in it. I was kind of surprised. I shot this years ago.
Is that in Japan now?
No, this was in Seattle. Yeah, just walking around Seattle.
Oh,
Yeah, this is in Miramar.
that's an awesome shot, Cindy.
Thanks. This was back in film days. This was probably about 94,
That's a nice shot.
starting to scan things. Thanks. I really like the texture contrast and the color
Maybe
differences.
that's an Ektachrome slide.
Actually, it's Velvia, Fuji Velvia, which was a real strong, kind of like Kodachrome type of film that I liked.
Brilliant color.
It had really
So-
brilliant.
So when you were doing these film shots, did you have to decide what kind of film to use before you actually shot the image?
You kind of go around for a feel and you figured out what your favorite things were. I liked Velvia outside. I loved Kodachrome, but by the time this trip came about, Kodachrome was kind of non-existent. Nobody was processing it anymore. So Velvia was the next best thing. And I think
That's-
Fuji still might make it. I'm not sure. I ran out of it. I mean, I brought, I think 90 rolls with me. I think the first week I went through 30 of them. It was just an amazing place. It was kind of like landing on Mars back then. So,
That's just natural light coming in from the left, is it? It's
correct. Yeah.
really nice.
Oh, thanks.
I just like his posture and everything too. Along with that,
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
different.
Yeah. And then this was in Cuba. I think this is my first digital camera. It was a pretty small sensor. I think it was maybe 8 megapixels at the time. And this was a kid on the back of a scooter just whizzing by, and He was just kind of staring at me as he went by and I just whipped around and caught him. So I like the motion in the background. I did miss getting all of his dad, but I think it works. And this is in the square in Santa Fe.
My goodness.
Yeah. Quite a ride. I can imagine him out on the open road, just, yeah, doing about 100. Yeah. Kind of reminds me of that old cartoon character from the 60s, Layback Lenny. Yeah. And then this was down in Rincon, Puerto Rico. This guy was just in another square down there. Just driving around like that. So I thought that-
I'm guessing, did you ask if you could take his photo?
oh yeah, I did. I did. Yeah, he was pretty amenable about it.
It looks a pretty scary guy.
Yeah. And just somebody commuting in Chicago on one of the bridges.
Good one.
I like the shadow.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that really made it.
Yeah.
Yeah, back in Miramar. This bridge was about 20 feet off the ground below. And it was dry. I thought, well, you know, it's going across the river. So I asked somebody, why is it so high? They said, sometimes it gets wet and even gets flooded when the river's in the rainy season. The river rises that high. It's pretty amazing. Yeah. Yeah, that's it.
And Sandy, where is Miramar?
It used to be called Burma.
Oh, Burma.
Yeah, you know, so guess they're going through a lot of civil unrest and dealing with the military regime right now that's kind of running things.
Pretty war-torn place, eh? Or was,
Yeah, there's a lot of factions, there's a lot of opium trade there and smuggling, and there's still a lot of tribal things going on there. But now with the military running the government, it's been pretty rough.
Okay, I'm gonna have to go, guys.
Okay, I think we're done. Take
Or-
care, Alan.
Bye, Al.
Hey, have a good one, guys. Stay,
Yeah.
stay cool,
Yeah.
stay cool.
Yeah,
Bye.
sharing and